Hi. Hi. Hi, everyone. Thanks for popping in. So today, I gotta turn off this television. Today, I was hoping that we would have a chance, I would get a chance to talk to you guys about what you've been learning. I watched Good Trouble last night. I rented it on Amazon Prime. For those who were wondering how to watch it, that's how I watched it. And it was amazing and really moving. I cried a lot. And it was great. I was really inspired. And it led to me asking myself some really interesting questions. I was talking to my boyfriend about it, and we were really, we were talking about how nonviolent resistance is very much a choice, and it's a choice that John Lewis chose to live by, and how difficult that choice must have been, that when you're being attacked and victimized for standing up for what you believe in, of course it's natural to want to fight back, and how nonviolence is a practice that to me, I was like, it's like a superpower. And it sort of pulls you out of the space of being neutral. You know, if you were to think about how your activism might manifest, what would you choose? Would you choose a path of nonviolence? Would you choose to take up arms and say, it's my right to have this? You know, you guys are making the argument, I'm making the same argument. You know, there's so many different, it's an active choice. And I think that's, I thought that was something that really stuck with me, that when you choose how you want to live your life, you face the consequences of that, and you have to own it. And it must have been so challenging, and still is challenging, I'm sure, for the people who are out there protesting and laying themselves down and saying, I'm not going to fight back, and how brave that is. So anyway, and thank you guys. I got my I took my braids out, and I got a little haircut, which I really like. Okay, so I'm gonna go live with some of you guys, because I want to hear what you have been doing, what you've been learning, and see if I can pick up any new things from y'all. So here I go. I'm gonna look in this group, and let's see here. Okay, here. I'm going to go live with Madnephelite, I think. Yeah, it's a great name.
Hi. Oh my God. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Can you
I'm
tell me
great.
how to pronounce your screen name?
It's Mad Nephelite.
Madnephelite. Okay, awesome.
Yes.
And what's your actual name?
Well, it is Maritza, which is a
Maritza?
Croatian name. Yes, but most people don't know how to pronounce it, so I usually go by M. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Well, what do you want me to call you?
Well, you can call me M. It was given to me actually by an actor, so
Cool.
since he couldn't pronounce my name.
Well, I would like to actually do the work, though. So, Maritza?
Well, okay. Well, it's Maritza.
Maritza.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so tell me about where are you, first of all?
I'm in Austria, in Vienna.
Awesome.
So it's 2 a.m. right now.
Oh my God. Well, thank you for staying up and sticking with it. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, it's a discussion about racism with one of your favorites, so, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Thank you so much. So tell me, what have you been sort of absorbing in this moment?
Well, I mean, I've been learning a lot about, like, the United States, which it's not a lot of good things, actually, because, I mean, I knew about racism, and I think Will Smith said it when he was like, it was always there, but now we see it because there are cameras to show it.
Sure.
So I knew it was there, but seeing it is just so much different than like just hearing about it. Like when you see it yourself, how a guy is murdered and he's begging for his life, and it's just heartbreaking. And well, I sometimes want, like, what I can do. Like, I'm in Austria. I live in a country that has a lot of white people.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really have, like, we do have racism, but for us, it's more like xenophobia. There is a lot of that here.
Sure.
You have a lot of white people coming from all kind of countries. Like my parents are from Bosnia, so I've experienced this xenophobia. I have no idea what racism feels like.
Sure.
And just I've been learning, just listening to people, and it's also interesting how everyone has a different, like, I've been talking to my black friends, and it's interesting how they have different opinions on the police.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm just listening.
Are they are they international friends, or do they live in Austria too?
No, they live in the States.
Oh, in the
So
States. Yeah, so they're
yeah.
I'm sure they're really
So they have,
not
it's
happy.
interesting how they have different opinions, like on police, although they are black people. And yeah, it's just interesting to listen and to learn and just absorb it all. And I've been watching the Good Trouble this morning before work. And I don't know if you've seen it, The Australian Dream.
I couldn't find it. I went on ESPN, on the ESPN app, and I was searching
Okay.
actually earlier today, and I couldn't. I like, it kept linking me to like the live stream of a golf tournament, and I was like, no, this is not what I'm looking for. But I still am trying to figure it out.
You should check out your DMs. There should be a link from Barrett Doss source. I don't know if it still works. Try it.
I will.
So you can watch it. Otherwise, just send a message and I can do the link again.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, totally. I would love.
You're
That would
welcome.
be awesome. I really do
Well,
want to
that
watch
one was
it.
interesting.
Go
That
on.
one was interesting. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're not. Go ahead.
It was interesting because there is a lot of similarities, like with the United States, with how people were treated there, like indigenous people, and it was heartbreaking to watch Adam Goods. Like, he loved this sport, and he was treated like a hero. And he loved the sport. He was good at this sport, and then it was like the shut up and dribble. So as long as he did that, he was a hero.
Right.
Once he started to say something and to stand up for himself, to stand up against racism, people were like, yeah, enemy, they didn't like him anymore. And
Right.
it was heartbreaking to see this sport that he was so good at, that he loved so much, kind of like not ruined, but it was tainted in a way.
Sure.
So but it was a really good documentary, and I don't usually watch documentaries, so it was really nice. Like, it was good to see that, and you should really check it out.
I would love to. Yeah, and thank you for sending that link. So do you
You're
feel
welcome.
like is there anything that has what would you say has sort of surprised you the most in the last couple months in observation and doing more learning?
Like, that some people just don't want to learn. Like, and just like how some people are just missing the basic, like, human decency, like how they can just look away and not care because it doesn't affect them, it doesn't bother them. So it's kind of sad that that people would react that way, that would look away and then see all the brutality and how the police is treating black people and just be like, whatever, I don't care, it doesn't affect me, so
Right.
why should I care?
Isn't that shocking?
Because it is I'm not used to that, because like I like to treat everyone the same way, like with respect and with kindness and be nice to them. Because they're a human being like me. I want to treat them the way I want to be treated.
Yeah.
So I will do my best to make them feel welcome, to make them feel appreciated. And it's sad to see that not everyone thinks that way.
Sure.
It's
Have there been any ways in which you've surprised yourself?
I'm not sure. Like, I've been watching this. I don't know if you've seen it. Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. And I've been it's really good. He's called Emmanuel Acho, and I've just watched all his conversations. And there was this one where one was like, people get so offended when someone calls them a racist, and like I will say that I am not a racist, but I'm sure that I've said things that some people will take as as a racist comment, or maybe I've had thoughts. So I'm trying to really work, like, think before I talk, think like before I say something, because you never know who that might hurt.
Yeah.
And like really think and not just, blurt it out.
Yeah, totally. That's such a great observation too, because I feel like it's, I think a lot of people don't consider that when you're talking, even if it's not to someone who might misinterpret what you're saying, if you're talking to a friend or whatever, that the way we speak influences the way our friends speak, and we all sort of absorb these messages from each other. So, when you hear your friends say something that, might be questionable, there's this moment of like, oh, I guess we're in a space where that's okay. We take our cue, and then we might go to the next person and say that same joke or say that same thing. And all of a sudden you realize we're in like, there's a chain reaction of
maybe that wasn't okay.
Yeah. That as long as we're all acting like it's not that big a deal, that's how things, that's what like stops progress, and feels like it's sort of sending this message along, like certain things are okay, and I guess we'll just say that this is on the table now. But yeah, so that's awesome. Thank you so much, and thanks for that resource. Can you say again where you've been watching Uncomfortable Conversations?
It is it's on Instagram. He has an account.
Awesome.
It's Emmanuel Acho. You can just type it in and you will find it, or just look for Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. It's quite like, it's informative, and he talks. There are a couple of episodes where he talks just on his own, and he reads letters and emails and answers those. And then there's episodes with other people, interracial couples, how they deal with all that, and families with like white parents with Black children, how they deal with that. So it was just interesting to hear all their opinions, and everyone actually be uncomfortable and be honest, and really say what they think, and just listen.
That's
and
awesome.
I think that's the most important thing, just to listen and educate yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's so great to talk to you. Thank you.
Oh, my heart is pounding, and I did not expect it.
Well, I'm so happy to talk to you. I know that you've
I
been
was
a
like,
huge supporter, and so thank you so much for all of your support.
Thank you for everything.
Awesome.
I kept my makeup on after work.
I know. I had to go like put something on my face, and I realized that I had forgotten how to do a bunch of stuff. I looked in my like, oh God, no. Okay, this is too much. So thank you so much, and we'll see you, around.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Maritza.
Thank you so much.
Right,
bye.
That was amazing. Thank you so much for that resource. This is why I'm excited to do this. I'm actually excited to hear more stuff that you guys are reading that we're not, I and the people who are doing 19 for 20 aren't recommending. So like, let's, oh, wow. Wait, there was just a really big question. Do you feel that change can be made with Trump in power? And where do you see the world in 10 years? Wow. I'm going to see if you're on here. That's an intense question. Let's see. I can't see a bunch of people. There's some requests. Let's see. I'm winging it here. Let's do Megan Williams. Okay. I hope that's.
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Can you tilt down? I can't see you.
I'm freaking out. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Are you Megan? Is that your name?
Yeah.
Awesome. It's so nice to talk to you. Where are you?
I'm in Maryland.
In America?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And what's been up? How are you doing? How are you faring in the pandemic?
Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, what have you been sort of absorbing in the last couple months? How are you
Um,
doing?
well, I'm not the type of person that really like understands a lot of stuff. So if I like hear something, I try to understand it, but I like don't really get it right or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So like, do you mean like within like social justice stuff, or is it like just like anything?
Just everything.
Well, that's okay. Is there anything that's been like in the last couple months when we're talking about racism in the United States and how we've been sort of like where we are actually in like the grand, I don't know, in our history, like we haven't moved that far, it feels like sometimes. So do you feel like
Yeah.
that's something that you can see, or does it seem not necessarily true?
I don't really know. I don't
Are you
know.
nervous?
Sorry. I'm so nervous. I'm so
Oh my
sorry.
God, that's okay. Let's talk about something else. How old are you?
14.
14? That's
Hmm.
awesome. And do you mind saying where in the States you live? Like what state you
Maryland.
live in? In Maryland?
Hmm.
Oh, I love Maryland. My dad lives in Virginia, so I drive through Maryland a lot. It's a nice spot. Are you guys going back to school anytime soon?
I'm not. My sister is.
Wow, that's
Well, because
exciting.
we're twins,
Hmm?
and we're twins, and she's going to a different high school than me. So,
Wow, that must be interesting growing up with a twin and then having to like, have you guys gone to other different schools before?
no.
No? So this is going to be the first time sort of meeting people without your twin?
Yeah, but that isn't really, she's not like a really big part of my life. I mean, she is, but she's,
Of course.
you know what
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, have you been watching the 19 for 20 stuff?
Yes.
Did you have like, which one do you feel like you like learned the most from, or did anything really surprise you, or?
Well, I learned stuff from all of them that
Sure.
could be really useful. Um, I don't know.
Was there any one that really like popped out to you?
Well, all of them did because
Yeah.
they're all really important.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting. It's one of those like, I feel like, I get overwhelmed by it too.
yeah.
I'm constantly surprised as I'm reading or watching documentaries or like trying to absorb this information, and it's really hard to it's hard to comprehend. It's sort of like what I was just talking about with like it's one of
Yeah.
those when you have to wrap your brain around the fact that we haven't changed that much, that like
Yeah.
that it's taken a really long time to get as far as we've gotten, and there's still so much further to go. It's actually like too big to even like understand. And
Yeah.
it can be really overwhelming, which is one of the reasons why we hoped that this would help people take little steps to just say,
Yeah.
okay, each of us is going to take a few minutes and just try to break down one thing. And then you realize it's really hard to break things down into 3 or 4 minutes
Yeah.
when all of these topics are so big and there's so much to say about them.
Yeah.
But awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's so nice to see you and talk to you. Do you like the
Thank
show? Are you a
you.
Station 19 fan?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you had
Hmm.
a favorite season? Do you have a favorite like storyline or character?
Um, like all of my favorite people die, which is really sad.
Mine too. What the heck?
Just like kill everyone.
I know. So, well, yeah, maybe it's not good to like curse your favorite characters by saying they're
Yeah.
your favorite because you don't know where they might end up. But thank you so much. We're going to be going back to shooting soon, so we'll have a good season for you guys in
Okay.
the fall. I'm super excited.
Me too.
All right. Thank you so much, Megan.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Let's see. That was fun. Okay. This is fun. Let me see what's going on. I can't get sorry guys, I can't get the request to pop up. I don't know why. I'm gonna, type in some questions while I try to figure this out. Oh, let me see. View. Ah, Kelly, my aunt's here. I can't click on the thing. Okay, damn. Type in some questions, guys. I wanna just keep engaging with you while I figure this out. Ooh, wait, Allie Morgs. I would love to talk to you too. Hold on, are you in this group? Fellow Black girl here, future TV writer. Would love to chat about race and fandom in the industry. I would love to talk about that, but I can't figure out how to get this thing working. Damn. You guys, I'm really sorry. As I'm sure you've figured out by now, I'm not the greatest with technology, so this is really frustrating. Sorry, guys. I'm worried that I might have to disconnect and then get back in here because I do want to talk to more of you. Hold on here. Let's just keep ask me some questions, guys. I'll talk about whatever, but I want to figure out what's going on here with bringing people on. Allie. Okay, wait, I'm going to try to go live with you, Allie Morgs. Waiting for, I forgot I can click on people. Hi.
Hi.
Are you Allie?
Yes.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Allie.
You too.
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm chilling, you know. So what's up? Let's talk.
Yeah. So I live here in LA.
Awesome.
Trying to be a TV writer.
Congrats.
Thanks. So I just wanted to ask you questions about I don't know if you know much about fandom. I know you're on TV, but I don't know if you're aware of fandom and stuff. So I just wanted to ask you questions about the racial issues that go on in fandom.
Can you tell me about it? And just for anybody else who doesn't quite know, what do you mean by that when you say fandom?
So for instance, Station 19, the fandom of Station 19.
Sure.
The people who support it, the Twitter followers, things like that.
Yeah, okay.
So just kind of the difference between the way I guess the characters of color are handled, or how the fans treat them versus the white characters.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So I feel lucky that I haven't necessarily observed anything, but as a viewer, have you noticed anything? I mean, I'm not asking oh, are they talking shit about me? But but I'm curious about what you've observed on our show or any other.
With Station 19, I feel the fandom is really chill. I feel they're one of the fandoms that's less of the drama and less of the characters of color getting treated differently. I know pretty much everybody loves Vic, and Ben everybody loves. So I feel it's less there, but I know a lot with Grey's Anatomy. In the fandom, there's been a lot of, I guess, racial issues where I feel the people who like the white characters treat the black characters who are very similar to the white characters differently. And it's there's no difference between them besides the fact that they're a different skin color.
Yeah. Are we thinking about Maggie?
Yes.
Yeah. I love Kelly. Oh my God.
I love
playing
Kelly.
Such an amazing character.
Yes.
And I love her. And I feel I've heard whispers of that, and it doesn't really surprise me, unfortunately. But yeah, that's, I mean, I it's always upsetting, you know, we know I think we know it's happening, but sometimes it's one of those things where you don't want to sort of feed the beast and
right.
engage with it, obviously, but it leads to these weird questions internally, because I think you start wondering, like, is what I'm doing not translating because people don't want to hear it? Is it because
Right.
they don't think I'm a good actor? Is it because they don't like my character? Is it because I'm Black? Like, is it,
Right.
and that's tough. And I think I've had a lot of questions, like, with Station 19, and wanting to feel like, God, am I being seen as, like, as beautiful as the other characters? Do I feel as beautiful or, like, sexy as the other characters? And of course, I work with Jaina and Danielle. They're incredibly beautiful and sexy women. So there's not, there's no shade. Like, I love that. But it's hard, you feel like I want to feel like I'm holding my own, and you don't know if the response is going to be positive. Well, if the response is negative, you want to know what the problem was.
Right.
And, I think it all comes back to representation and I think one of the reasons potentially our show has a pretty chilled out fandom when it comes to that stuff is we are a show of the majority of our actors are minorities.
Yeah.
And, that makes it a really welcoming environment for us, I think. And it allows for, we have 3 Black men on the same show, and they're all very different. And like, and in most shows you maybe get 2, and, sometimes it's not so clear what the character differences are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like, as a TV writer, when you, like, when you're crafting stories, do you give attention to that?
Yeah, I do. That's specifically why I got into it.
Yeah, awesome.
Because I feel like we need more representation. And so, yeah, I think that's, like, the first thing that I think of whenever I'm writing something.
Sure.
But it's just, like, so tough. I was talking to somebody else, and I was like, oh, like, if I send my work, like, what should I do? And she was another woman of color, and she was saying, like, well, make sure that you can write white people too, or make sure that it's, like, colorblind as well. She was like, which sucks, but, like, that's ultimately what they're going to be looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so weird when you think, because some of our writers too, like, we had an amazing Angela. She's incredible. We had a Black female writer on staff for our first couple of years, and she, and I remember talking with her later, and I've seen, especially recently, she's been writing, on Twitter and stuff. I follow her, and we go back and forth. But she retweeted something that was like, we all, as Black writers, it's you have to be able to write for white characters.
Right.
Or, like, it's the expectation, and it's also considered neutral. So, what might be neutral, like actually authentically neutral for me or for you or for Angela, is not going to be neutral for the white dude who might be running the room. So it's like, but there's not always the other sort of the flip side, where the expectation is for the white writers to be able to sensitively and thoughtfully write white characters. Or not white characters, characters of color.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got lost in my own train of thought. But yeah, I think that it's really like that feels like why we need more writers of color in the room, because that's how people learn from conversation, and, like, not have the egos be so big of the white folks in the room that they can't absorb information and say, like, oh, at the moment maybe I should defer to this woman, like, if it was you. And then, but I also need to be learning from that. We can't also pile the obligation and the responsibility of writing all the Black characters on the 2 or 3 Black folks in the room. So yeah, that's super important. I'm so glad. Are you having any luck? Is this such a weird time to be like?
Yeah, because I was in school, like, I was finishing up my last semester. So, like, now I'm trying to, like, write and find work, but yeah, everything's so weird right now, so I'm kind of writing and seeing where it goes from there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited. Are you working on anything you're really, like, stoked about?
Yeah, I'm actually writing a short film. I'm on my 2nd draft of my short film. It's about a single mom who falls in love with her daughter's kindergarten teacher.
Awesome. Oh, that sounds sweet. I love it. Is it a comedy, drama? Like,
It's a drama. It's kind of depressing.
oh God, even better.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that's like my favorite thing to write.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Allie. I hope
Thank
we are going
you.
to do one of our words in the next. We sort of split them into two groups, and we have a bunch of new people coming on to do the second half of the words. But we have representation in there because I've been thinking a lot about that in the recent talk about the Emmys and all that stuff. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it felt like, wow, this might be a good time to also talk about what it means to feel represented on screen and seeing images of yourself, not just on screen, but everywhere, and how much of an influence that makes on people, especially young people. So
Yeah, definitely.
thanks, Allie. It's so good to talk to you. Good luck and
Thank you so much.
congratulations, and keep it up. I'm gonna
Thank you.
check
This
you
was
out.
great.
I want to watch that film.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. I am probably going to wrap up after this last person. So thank you so much, Allie. That was awesome. And it's so nice. Thank you for bringing that to people's attention. I mean, I don't know if y'all watching are members of the fandom and, you know, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal because we do see that stuff, you know, like I know there are plenty of people, actors and actresses who just choose not to engage at all. But you do see it and it hits and it can be scary and sad and like really demoralizing. So yeah, if you see something, say something because racism sucks. uh anyway, hi Gali and Tohar. Hi. um let me see. I am going to pull up one more person. Oh, okay. How about Anaya? Hi, Anaya.
Hi.
Is that your first name?
Yes.
Awesome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Where are you calling from?
Michigan.
Oh, yes, the Midwest. Oh, I love it. Where in Michigan?
Well, I'm in Harper Woods, but I like to call it Detroit adjacent.
Nice.
So.
Yeah. I've been through there. I was born in Minnesota, but I grew up in Chicago. So we like went all over.
Oh, cool. My dad's from Chicago.
Nice. It's a cool city. It's a cool place.
Yeah.
How you doing? What did you, I saw your, I don't know if everyone saw your comment, but what were you thinking about?
Well, I kind of just wanted to like talk about how inspiring your 19 for 20 combos are, especially for me and my friend group, because when I saw them, it kind of related to, there's this Instagram account that someone from my school started called Black at GPPSS, and it's basically talking about like a bunch of stories that Black students in my school district have gone through that are kind of like racist stories or prejudice stories, kind of just spreading awareness about it. And my friends saw that account and we kind of wanted to reach out to my school board and talk about how to implement more Black friendly narratives in my school curriculum.
Yeah.
Me specifically, I kind of wanted to implement more stories that show people of color in a more friendly light. Since when I read like books for English class, it's mostly about like Black people who are slaves or who are escaping slavery, or we're just not seen as the most friendly protagonist or anything like that. So I kind of want to like implement more stories in my school so that when students read them, they're like, oh, Black people are multifaceted. We can be friendly. We can be vulnerable. We're normal people. So
That's amazing. That's an amazing initiative. That's so awesome. Do you have like, so are you in the process of sending of like petitioning for this to the school board, or have you like reached out to them already?
Well, me and my friends, we're kind of still talking about what kind of themes that we want to petition to the school. So we're still like on a Google Doc, just writing out all of our things that we want to address. But I hope we can get it started soon. It's going to be kind of hard since I'm doing like online school, so I can't like, you know, be there like
Sit in
really
and
talking about it.
school board
Yeah.
office. That's incredible. I mean, that's literally like that is the sort of change that is so important, and it'll impact your education. It'll impact students who are younger than you. And that is like exactly what this moment is supposed to be about. That is absolutely incredible and so inspiring. So did you guys like stumble across that Instagram page, or did you start it yourselves, or?
Oh, we didn't start it, but somebody at my school started it, and things on social media spread, especially when it has to do with like Grosse Pointe, because nobody talks about Grosse Pointe. So when you see something that's like, oh, Grosse Pointe, you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
wow. So I looked at it and I was like, wow, I can relate to a lot of this stuff. Like even just microaggressions, but sometimes at other schools it's like overt racism and it's just kind of pushed under the rug, and I don't like that. So I was like talking with me and my friends, and we're like, we need to do something about this.
Absolutely. That's incredible. I'm so inspired by that. That's like, that's, that's amazing. So what have you guys been doing any additional sort of um, like work, like reading or watching stuff or like reaching out to different, not reaching out, but like using specific models for how you're going to move forward?
Um, I'm not sure. One thing that we are doing right now is we kind of want to make sure to check our own biases going into it, because you know, like since I am a person of color, I want to be able to understand the other person's side, which is why I really liked your white privilege live that you did with Brett, because you know I had to check certain things that I came in with my own opinions. So
Sure.
we've taken a few implicit bias tests, and we're really just looking at certain research like statistics that we can bring in, and but as well as anecdotes, because I want to make sure that like people know it's not just a made up thing, like these
Yeah.
are things that really happened. So we're in the process, me and a group of friends, and yeah, I don't know, we'll try to get something started.
That's incredible. I'm so like, I don't know you and I'm so proud of you. Like,
Thanks.
that's awesome. So what was I was going to ask you a question. Oh yeah. When you were talking about the, like checking your own bias and privilege and everything, or not privilege, your implicit biases and what you said about that. I think that it's so interesting how we as people of color have that, like, I don't want people to think I'm just like, we actually question occasionally, and it's almost what I was talking about with Allie too. Like, does this person have a problem with me because they just don't like me, or
Yeah.
am I misunderstanding something, or is this actually the interaction that I thought it was? Or that, like, you know, when you have to go back and sort of, because those nuanced microaggressions and some of that stuff can be really like, I shouldn't say anything about that, or maybe I shouldn't even feel bad about that, but I do. And why, you know, like why?
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
I've experienced certain things like that where I have to like double check which thing. The one thing for me is like with my hair is a good example, because when my hair's not in braids, like when it's out like yours, people see it and they're like, "Oh, it's so pretty!" Like I want to touch it and things like that. So sometimes my friends who don't have curly hair, they'll come up to me and be like, "Oh, you know, your hair, it's so nice," and I'm like, I understand that because I don't have straight hair. So when I see some of my friends' straight hairs, I'll be like, oh, I could do a cute braid with it or something. But it's kind of weird because you're like, so do they like my hair because they want to touch it because they think it's weird, or just
Right.
because they want to pet me like an animal, or are they just curious? And they want to touch it because it's curly and it's new to them. So I don't know. It's a weird thing. I constantly have to debate with myself, like, because you're allowed to be like, oh, you can be uncomfortable. Like you don't have to let a person touch your hair, but you can also understand why they want to touch it, like their motives going into it.
Sure. Yeah. So do you have any things, or like, not stories, but I guess pieces of history or ideas for what you would want to implement into your school's curriculum?
Oh, there's this one book that I really like. Um, it's not really like positive, but I think it's an important part. There's this book that I read over the summer called The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, and they did like the documentary on it, and I watched the documentary, but I read the book first, and I really liked the book because it shows that like Henrietta Lacks was just a woman and she loved her family and she wanted to make change and do great things. And then she had cancer and she passed away, but the doctors took her cells without asking her family for permission and they made tons of money on it. So I feel like it would introduce an interesting conversation about ethics because her cells did a lot of things for tons of people, but at the same time, her family didn't get any money from it. So and they had a bunch of issues as well. Like they didn't have any health care, anything like that. So the double standard of that was interesting to read about. And I feel like I would have a lot of interesting discussions with it with students in my school. So
Absolutely. And like you said, just offering a different angle on how we look at the Black experience in this country, that they might be stories of turmoil and sort of having to overcome something. A lot of stories that Black people live are that, but like it's such a it's important to see the full range of Black people's experience in this country and not just see us as people who are victims of like the terrible scourge of racism, but also people that are strong and inspiring and intelligent and human beings that are beyond just sort of being on the receiving end of bad behavior by other groups of people. That is so unbelievably inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I would love actually if you can DM me just so I have your name because I want to like message with you, and then maybe we can find a way to like if you need any support writing to your school board or even reaching higher, maybe we can find a way to like get the word out that you're trying to do this.
Cool. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. So we'll follow your lead, but it would be so awesome. I would love to find a way to support you guys in this effort because I think it's amazing. It's amazing. How old are you?
I'm 16.
That's incredible. Thank you so much, Anaya. This is like the perfect way
to
like end this live. I hope that everybody who's watching is like super inspired by this because I am. And definitely DM me and I will message you back. And I'd love to keep this conversation going and find a way to support you guys in whatever way I can.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Seriously. All right. Bye. Have a good day. Have like a great. Are you going back to school soon?
We start September.
Online though.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Stay safe, please. We need you.
Wear your masks, people.
Oh yes. Thank you, Anaya. Preach. All right. Thanks, girl. I'll talk to you soon. Do DM me. I will message you back.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, that made me so fucking happy. Wow. Anyway, like Anaya said, wear your mask. And you guys, there is no like that's like exactly the sort of stuff that we need in this country. Like people taking it upon themselves to make a change that even if it impacts you in the moment, it will help people after you. So that is like, I mean, I'm kind of blown away by that. I don't even know what to say. So I hope you guys have all taken that and internalized it and just been very excited about the future, because that made me really excited about the future. And so the things that we were talking about today, I'm going to figure out how to watch The Australian Dream, and we'll find a way to watch that. Thank you. And I'm going to go and DM with Anaya so I can try to help her out, because that's amazing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. This was actually, I was really kind of nervous because doing these things on my own is a little like intimidating, but I'm so happy I did. This was really, really fun. And I'm going to save this, and I hope that you guys can send it out. And if anything, if there's ever any follow-up with Anaya and her group trying to talk to their school board in Michigan, I will let you guys know. All right. I will talk to you all soon. We are so excited about the next season. We were just getting some emails and stuff about when we're getting started. So hopefully we'll all stay safe, wear your masks, and yeah, do your thing. All right, stay safe, you guys, and lots of love. And watch something this week. Like, that's a super easy way to get educate yourself a little bit. Read something, watch something, send it to your friends, and because that's what I do. It's great. All right, bye guys, love you all.